Episode 5.
Miss Coyote, are you going to join us?
Are you coming in, Miss Kyle?
She looks
She's not
skeptical.
sure.
She looks skeptical.
She has to talk to her agent first. She says, I've done 4 episodes for free. I'm not sure that I'm going to do this for free. What kind of extra treats am I going to get?
I have been treating you very regularly.
Hey, everybody. This is Too Much Intimacy. I'm Chester. She's Phoebe. We're a hot stoner couple that's coming to you again sober.
Except for this vitamin C.
This vitamin C, and this'll keep you healthy in the wintertime. Vitamin C, powder, apple cider vinegar, honey,
Hot water.
and hot water.
This is our wintertime religion.
Yeah.
Every morning.
Every morning, and when it's tough, every evening. When we feel the flu or cold trying to get us.
The ghosts.
The ghosts. Whoa.
I feel like your whole day you were like battling this.
Yeah.
They were like
The ghosts were getting me.
from like the back, from the side. You were like, stop.
Yeah, they were all over the place, these ghosts. I've got a pretty good case of seasonal affective disorder, or whatever it's called. SAD. I'm sad.
Yeah.
My depression really rearing its ugly head here in the depths of February.
Yeah. I'm not meaning to smile so much while you're talking about your depression. I
It's
just
okay.
think you're really cute.
You can laugh at my pain. It's okay. I got Kyle to protect me.
It's true. It's true.
Mm.
Well, we got no weed today.
No weed.
So we're just flying dry.
Yeah, flying dry and high. I think this is like, I'm trying to think of the last time I had a drink. This is like day 5 or 6 with no alcohol.
Friday.
Oh yeah, because we went to that party.
I think it was Friday.
Yeah, we went to a birthday party on Friday. Had a few drinks then. Don't think I've had anything to drink since then.
Should we talk about like why we're doing this thing? Or we can also like scrub it out and just not talk about it.
The sober time?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Tell me, why are you doing the thing?
Well, I feel like I'm kind of doing it, honestly, to like psych out our therapist.
You're doing it to psych out our therapist.
Because I feel like they have like this impression that you and I just like go like hard and wild.
Yeah.
And like a little sloppy, like on the weekends and then after work, like during the week. And I think that there was a little part of me that was like wondering that also, some like every so often, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like doing, like I had a crazy mushroom trip on a Sunday night. Like that's a little...
You had a crazy trip on a Sunday night.
That's a little like close, you know?
You had a crazy trip on a Thursday randomly.
On mushrooms?
I think it was mushrooms.
Are you sure? I don't think I did. I think you're talking about the day that I said I wanted to take mushrooms and you
No.
were like, no.
I'm pretty sure there was a day that I came home from acting class and you were like, I'm on 2.5 grams of mushrooms.
No, that did not happen. That did not happen.
You definitely surprised me.
Oh. Anyway.
At least once.
At least once. No. But I told you. Anyway. Let's not get into a fight.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I am doing it because there is a little part of me that was like, maybe, I don't know. Like, our therapist suggested that maybe it would be good to just like try, because we were both having like a little bout of depression.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe it would be good to just try like having a sober time and like a check-in of like, okay, how am I doing without these things that are kind of like bringing me up and like then maybe down afterwards, like after you're like processing this stuff. And it feels like, I don't know, it just feels, for me, it feels good every once in a while to just like go clean. It feels like when you get to go to the gym regularly
Mm-hmm.
for like, you know, the second, third week in a row, you know, you're just like, I'm a badass. I'm
Yeah.
strong and I'm a badass.
Yeah.
So I think part of me is doing it to like prove something, but also because I know that I can.
Yeah.
So I feel like a sober badass right now.
You're a straight edge badass. I'm struggling a little bit more with it, but
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to make a lot of changes in my life in a short period of time, like getting back to the gym on a pretty much daily basis. I don't think I've gone 5 days a week, but I think I've hit the gym like 4 days a week the last couple weeks, and even the like weekday that I'm not going, I'm still like doing some sort of small at-home workout.
Yeah.
I cut out alcohol almost entirely, except for that party. I mean, I'm definitely not drinking during the weekdays now, and now I'm trying to do the same thing with marijuana. No, during the weekdays, and it feels good, but it's like, I'm feeling some withdrawal. Because for a while, I was, until recently, I was having a smoke or consuming some sort of marijuana after work every day, which that is a thing that therapist sometimes says to me, is they're like, well, it's okay to just, don't, marijuana's okay, just don't do it until, after work. And I'm like, I never did it during work. Except for occasionally, like when I'm in the city networking and having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm cutting back from even doing that. And last year there was a time when I was probably having a beer, maybe 2 beers, occasionally even 3 beers every evening.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's time to calm it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's good, but it's hard. I'm definitely struggling.
Yeah.
No lie.
You don't feel the like sparkles in your life.
Don't feel the sparkles. Just really like feeling, I guess all the emotions and the sensations that kind of the substances were drowning out. I'm feeling in full effect now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is what the winter feels like. It feels like little tiny spikes on the inside of my veins.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's no fun.
How do you, well, we've done this before,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where we like have periods where we don't really take substances.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back. Like, I feel like it's like a very healthy like wave to go in and out of.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was like before, like in this period? Because I feel like at first it's kind of like the hardest part where you're like adjusting kind of. Do you remember in the past like a time where like what it feels like when the spikes in your veins, like, do they just like keep getting spiky or do they like soften out or?
Yeah, I mean, they come and go. I don't know. I'm not having a clear memory of like a previous time that, I've kind of pushed through the anxiety and depression with sobriety and seen how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it comes and goes. I mean, I know a lot of it's winter. I know a lot of there's less sun. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's always hard this time of year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Seasonal affective disorder gets a lot of people.
Yeah, it does. This is a fun start to the podcast, isn't it?
I don't know. It's a real start.
It's a real start, yeah.
I think a lot of people feel down this time of year. And like, I don't know. I think that it's nice to know that you're not alone, as someone who has been in the depths of depression.
Yeah, we're here with you. You're not alone. We're depressed with you. You can imagine Bubs and Coyote sitting on your lap too, purring, given all their good, loving energies. We're very lucky to have them.
Yeah. They're good cuddly angels, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm remembering that I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about whatever you do know about what's going on in politics right now, because
Mm.
I am in a bubble that I
Yeah.
have created for myself
What kind of bubble?
where I just don't Google the news and I don't click on things on social media that have the news on them. So, like, the algorithm knows that what I want to look at is like
Not current events.
beautiful interiors
Yeah.
and videos of cute animals and like spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
Good news movement. That's the kind of news that I've been getting.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. I mean, that's important. I think I have not been engaging with it as much as I sometimes do because it's pretty dramatic. And
Yeah.
and I'm not even saying about the current administration, but I think in general the system wants to keep us like angry and afraid and
Yeah.
like clicking and tuning in, and I just don't really want to participate in that world right now. It's not good for my mental health.
Yeah.
So I'm engaging with it less, but what do you want to pick my brain about? You just want me to kind of sum it up?
Yeah, like what's the big stuff that you've seen that's going on lately? Like literally all I get of the news is like I get an idea of what's happening through like a meme
Right.
that
Okay,
someone
tell
has
me.
made about the big thing.
So tell me a meme that you've seen recently, and I'll see if we can unpack it.
They're not even like the majority of the memes that come my way.
Yeah.
I'm just vaguely remembering that there was an Elon Musk one. Like, okay, so a thing that I know generally is that people are like, stop supporting the billionaires because they are like Elon Musk is. I didn't even know like what his position was. I thought maybe he actually got a cabinet position, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if like that
Yeah.
was happening. I just know that he is like in the fold.
Mm-hmm.
He's like in the inner circle,
Yeah.
or so it seems.
Where'd it go? It fell off the bed?
Oh my gosh, I've really lost my
You lost your
my
crown.
royalty now.
Look at the coyotes watching you put it on.
The cats are they're very interested.
They're very attentive right now.
They're very attentive. Maybe they want to know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But like, mom doesn't pay attention to shit.
Yeah, so as best as and I'm not an expert, so don't get your news directly from me. Get your news from Tangle News. That's
I'm
where
sure
I get
everyone
mine.
else knows actually what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, Elon Musk has been appointed the head of a temporary government agency called the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. This is the thing that's hilarious, is like they're just going into the memery of it. They're totally leaning into the memery of it, because Doge is like Dogecoin. It's like it was like one of those like cryptocurrencies that everyone was like, oh, we're gonna get Dogecoin.
It was spelled DOJ.
DOGE, Doge, Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh, I see.
So, and like Trump on his inauguration day, like released a Trump cryptocurrency coin. It's like, this is very obviously a grift. Like,
Right.
it is kind of wild. Anyway, so Musk and Trump are trying to change the government, which, yeah, hey, man, they got elected with a mandate to make changes. People are unhappy. I get it. And, one of the big things is they're trying to cut back government spending. And so they're going in and they're just, like, trying to cut a bunch of stuff.
Wait, I have a question. So they want to cut government spending. So is their narrative like, the money is being spent in like crooked ways and like we're going to clean it up?
Yeah, inefficient ways, ranging from like, just inefficient to useless to crooked.
Okay.
And there's definitely truth to that. So they have kind of the one thing that's been seemingly the bad guy that they have been focusing on is like diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, right? There's like they're waging a
Right.
war against,
Right.
DEI, which, what are you doing, Bubs?
Did they say why?
Because they contend that DEI is like anti-meritocracy, like people are getting jobs and promotions based on their gender or racial or sexual identity instead of
Interesting.
like actually deserving it. Which,
I'm just
you
thinking.
know,
I'm just thinking about like the when we go to Home Depot.
hmm
At the Home Depot by where we live, there's a lot of people who clearly have like some kind of like I don't know, like learning disability or like social
hmm
thing, or like you can tell something is off.
yeah,
Like, and there's like a lot of them, and it's
mm,
like kind of unusual because I don't know, usually you don't go to a store and see like
yeah,
more, like most of the staff is like
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the words are not going to come out right, but
Wow.
they're just not like.
Is it Down syndrome or?
I don't know if I would say they have Down syndrome, but like I feel like they vary. Like you can just tell like socially they're like on a different wavelength, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um they just like don't interact like how you would say like quote unquote
Sure.
normally, but obviously but they're like very like helpful and like nice, and they know how like the things operate at the store.
Right.
So like they're saying that like that is like an example of like there are people who want those jobs, and like those people are squeezing them out
Right.
basically.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know specifically about Home Depot what kind of DEI policies they may or may not have, but yeah, that's kind of the narrative is like, hey, this has been this thing, and like all these government agencies now have to have a DEI program, and it's like bad for morale, it's bad for efficiency, and so like DEI is the big enemy, which ends up meaning, people, certain minority groups end up being like targeted
Interesting.
and like I kind of as somebody who like hires and fires people, as part of my work,
Yeah.
I understand the like, okay, mandates for you need to have this many people of this identity and this many people of this identity. It's like, that's not really the way you want to run an organization. For me, I just like don't like well, I just don't like my big issue with Trump has always been like he's a divider, you know. He is specifically like stoking our divisions, calling out things that are different about us instead of finding reasons to unite us. And DEI is, I guess, the big bad enemy that they're doing that with now. Like there was that plane crash where a military helicopter crashed into a commercial airliner jet flying into Washington D.C. And like immediately the narrative out of the White House was this is because of DEI, and immediately the narrative out of the Democrats was this is because Trump cut all this funding and it was understaffed and everything
Oh
like
my
that.
god.
And it's just like, I mean, that was so predictable, and neither of those things were like actually really relevant to what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just like kind of that's the world we live in, is like people are saying, the powers that be are just pushing whatever narrative
Right.
to, like rile up their supporters and score like, media
Yeah.
points and stay in the news, and it doesn't really matter how accurate or true or, whatever it is. Like it doesn't matter. And I think that Trump is a master of that. I think he's a genius when it comes to media manipulation, but like he's kind of just exploiting a system that's been going in that direction for 20 years, since the advent of the cable news 24-hour news cycle.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so he's a symptom of a disease, and he's capitalized on people being very unhappy with how things are going, and were they unhappy because things are going poorly, or were they unhappy because all of a sudden we have a deluge of media telling them that they should be unhappy and they should be afraid and they should be making more money, or, you know, these people have more than them, or this person is more attractive than them. Like, we live in a society that, like, is trying to profit off of our individual unhappiness, our individual, like, making us feel like, oh, I'm not skinny enough, or I'm not this enough, and, like, if I buy this product, if I wear this makeup, if I do this thing, if I, you know, and then when that's not enough, it's just like, okay, well, let's blame this group of people, let's blame this group of people. Let's grant, you know, this goes back, you know, all the way, we saying things like basket of deplorables, you know, the Democrats said in 2016, and then blame the immigrants and blame the DEI, and it's just this constant blame game, which is, you know, not the healthiest way to live. Probably not the healthiest way to try to have a democratic society, because that I feel like diversity is the both greatest strength and greatest weakness of the Western melting pot model of you know, statehood, where we try to not have our countries based entirely on, like, just ethnic grounds, where we try to give people more equal voices. And it's a wonderful ideal. It's a very difficult ideal. It's something that is always a struggle. And it can be a great strength, because we can have a lot of, you know, knowledge and wisdom and different skills that, you know, a more homogeneous society wouldn't have. But at the same time, if you've got a melting pot of people, there's going to be divisions and there's going to be fracture lines. And if you have people that come into power that know how to exploit those, you know, it's like, that's going to be, in my opinion, that could be one of our greatest weaknesses. So we'll see. Saw this I saw this thing on Instagram, like, saying, like, look at all these empires from history that lasted 250 years. Guess what's happening in 2026? America's turning 250 years old.
I know. You told me that. I just want to say that I think that's another, like, I mean, it's interesting, but, like, I feel like that to me just sounds like yet another
fear-mongering thing.
Another fear-mongering thing. Like,
yeah.
I think that a lot of people are unhappy with things that our country is doing as, like, one of the most powerful countries in the world, or, like, so they say. I don't even really know what that means.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, people are unhappy with how the people at the bottom are being treated, or the things that we're not doing. So people are, I think that there is, like, a level of glee that upset part of people gets from just saying, like, all right, well, it's just going to be gone. Like, fuck this country, I'm going to leave. You know, I also saw something where they're like, oh, record numbers of Americans are, like, applying to get their Irish passports.
Right.
And, like, I don't know. I don't want to say that people's fear is not valid, because I think that everyone's experience is valid, and you and I speak from our own place in life, which I feel like we're both pretty privileged. So that's privileged. Like, you know, a caveat to everything that we're saying. But
yeah,
I don't know. To me, like, I'm not going to live here anymore. Like, this country is going to end soon anyway. That's just, like, reminds me of the vibe that I was getting from myself last week when I was feeling very depressed, where I was just trying to shut, like, my knee-jerk reaction to the pain that I was feeling inside for myself was just to, like, shut it down, to, like, leave it. Be like, I don't want to be here right now.
Right.
I don't want to be, like, in this experience. And to me, that is just, like, that energy is not, I don't know.
Well, it's not sustainable, because it's, like, true, you can't really escape it. Sure, go get your Irish passport and move to Dublin, but, like, what are you going to do? Not watch the news? We were in Ireland. We were in Europe, right before the election. And, like, guess what's all over the papers, all over the television, all over everybody's social media? American politics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Even sometimes, like, I feel like when we were on our honeymoon and we were abroad, I feel like they were more like they were more outspoken about it than like when we hang out with our friends here. They were like, "Oh, like what do you think about that? Like what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" Like, oh, they like knew more than we knew.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like there is no escaping it, and also, I guess in our case there is.
I would say like there's a quote escaping it in that you don't have to give your attention to it as much. Like I kind of applaud the fact that you've got your kind of blinders on and you're not really paying attention to it, because is it good for your mental health? Are you like giving likes and dislikes and like hashtags or whatever the kids do? Is that actually making social change, or is it just spreading more anger? Is it spreading more fear and hatred? And I think I'd rather be in the business of spreading joy and love, and hopefully from that there's a little bit of peace. And I know that's like an idealistic thing, but like you look at the, however many thousands of years of human history, and like there's always conflict. There's like that's just kind of what we are as a species, and I hope that someday we can like be a more peaceful, integrated, humanity. But I am pretty sure that screaming at your political enemies online is not going to lead us there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that the thing that I keep coming back to, which is, of course, like from my privileged perspective, is like, if you're like a spiritual person who has done any level of like depth of work into it, past the love and light phase, I think when you have like your spiritual awakening, we all go through that of like, oh, just think positive. Like when you get past that level, you realize that like, oh, like there's a spectrum of dark and light, and like it's all equal. It's all like you have to have, if you didn't have one, you wouldn't have the other. You have to have all of it. So I think that's what you're talking about, where like in history, it's like, it's been fucking bloody. Like we have enslaved people, like we have been like horrible. And also we have done like crazy, like incredibly like generous, like magical, like unworldly things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a tendency, a human like desire to categorize things as good and bad, and this was better and this was worse and this is forward and this is backwards. But like you kind of like zoom out and it's just like things are.
Yeah.
There's just is, and the narrative that we scope around it is entirely subjective or subjected on us by the powers that be. So I try to I try, and I'm not very good at this, but I try to just zoom out a little bit and not get myself super riled up, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think the most important thing anybody can do is just treat the people around them how they like the world to be,
Yeah, like treat people, your neighbors, like know your neighbors.
Your neighbors,
like,
your colleagues.
Be nice to like strangers.
Be nice to strangers, that's a big one. Tip well if you have the means to.
If you have the means, if you have people in your life that need money, like
give it to them.
Just give them some money.
Yeah.
Not like all your money, obviously, but
somebody needs a helping hand, help them out.
Just yeah.
Yeah. I also think that if we elected Bubs and Coyote as presidents, we'd be in a much better spot. Look at these guys.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm not sure much would get done.
Well, maybe that would be good.
They seem pretty distractible.
Yeah. Look at her. She's so stretched out.
Well, I also want to say, and then I feel like I want to get off my soapbox, because I don't think my energy type is like the best for talking about politics.
Yeah, I think maybe politics is probably not going to be what this podcast is all about.
I want to say that, like, I think that similar to how there's like light and dark in every shade of black and gray, is like people are here to do different things.
Yeah.
And I think like I've tried, like I went hard into like in 2020 and being like, I'm going to be the best, most woke person that ever was. Like, I'm going to be a force that moves the needle. And I just like, I don't think that's me. I think that some people that is.
Yeah.
I think some people that is for them.
That's
and
their
we
purpose.
do. And we need those.
people.
We need those people.
We do.
But that's not. It's not everyone.
Yeah. And it's hard to be that person. It's also probably very hard to be that person for over a whole like career, a whole lifespan. Like maybe it's like, all right, I'm going to do this for a year here and there. Yeah. I'm going to do this for 6 months, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm increasingly disillusioned with society from all aspects. So, I'm just going to try to treat the people in my circle with as much respect as I can. And, yeah.
Yeah. Try to do our lives the best way that we can.
Yeah, spread some good energies out there. Try to put some Bubba Purrs on the internet for you people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's some good purrs.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Bubs. Thanks. This is what he does when he gets happy. He suckles his little blanket.
I think this is like the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
To pivot gears.
Yeah, this is how we get out of politics.
Did you enjoy that politics talk, or did you not enjoy it?
I did not enjoy it.
Oh, damn it.
Why damn it?
I was hoping that you would have enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a little bit. I think, I'm pretty depressed right now, and like when I'm depressed, I'm not functioning at like my brain is not as intelligent as it.
Yeah.
And this is another reason, just to go back to why we're kind of cutting back on why I'm cutting back on substances, is like Bubs, you're such a good boy. I can tell that I am not as sharp. I can tell that I'm not as intelligent. I can tell that I'm not as well spoken when I am.
And you want to be. You want to get it back.
I would like to get it back because, oh, that's a good one. I would like to get it back because, I do think I have important things to say, and we're trying to have a platform here, and as much fun as it is to get baked and like have some fun, I think also
I love to have fun.
Having fun is super important. But also just in my life right now, like, at work, things are pretty intense, and I'm trying to get myself back up to my, fighting weight so that I can, be part of a team that's really doing big, important things, and I can treat people well, and we can grow the business and, get people raises and all that jazz.
I think that is social justice work, is like taking care of your own mental health, so you can be like a good person for your family. You can enjoy your life. You can make your life more, more colorful.
And like
you can love your people with all your heart.
And that shows. Like, you ever just seen like a stranger walking down the street? You can tell is like having a great day.
It is contagious.
It's contagious.
It's like that fucking bug commercial, that VW bug commercial. Do you remember that commercial?
Mm-hmm.
Where, somebody's driving a bug, and you see, like, people see this cute fucking car, the cutest car that ever was, a VW bug. It's driving down, and you see everyone that sees the car, they smile, and then it follows the person. That person smiles, and then another person sees their smile, and they smile, and it's like... It's very sweet.
It is very sweet. And that's exactly what we're trying to do by putting you guys on the internet. We're trying to spread all the love and joy that you bring to us.
It just reminds me of that Instagram video that I sent you. That was like, I'm starting an only pause for my cat.
Oh, yeah.
To pay my gas money. And it was like this like sexy music, and there's just like a paw. And then the cat's like licking its paw.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Do you think that we've been on the internet too much? I feel like we talked a lot about things we saw on Instagram today.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not
Maybe
usually this much on the internet, but
maybe that's the next detox that's coming.
that would be a good one. I usually don't spend that much time online, but I have been scrolling.
You've been scrolling?
Yeah, because it's like, what are you going to do if I can't get high and drink? Well, I got to fucking spend the time somewhere. I do try to just stare into our wood-burning stove as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's good. Or just like lay around and let the cats be on top of me.
Both of the wood burning stove and letting the cats just be on you, they do feel like good, like veg kind of vibe things.
Yeah.
Good for your soul while you're vegging a little.
Yeah. I do kind of want to like. Part of me has this fantasy of like to go back to the homesteading time where there's no technology and it's just.
I understand that people have this. I know people have this fantasy. Some people take the fantasy to reality, and they make it look very nice on Instagram.
Well, I mean, if they're making it look nice on Instagram,
but I will tell you,
really.
Well, no, they look at people like it's a whole lifestyle. People like love it, I think.
Yeah, we don't go online at all except for to show off our life on Instagram. Sure.
Part of me also has that fantasy, but I think that part of me has gotten smaller after we bought our house, and I have had multiple attempts at gardening. I shouldn't say gardening because it's not like a vegetable garden, but like
just flowers.
The wildflowers project, like growing flowers from seed, you know, the weeding, the planting, the watering, the picking off the whatever the weird bugs, the beetles that I learned about, like, just the more that I don't know, I think I had this fantasy in my mind that, like, it was going to be, like, my hands are in the dirt, I feel connected to the earth, I feel connected to myself, I'm getting healed by the earth, and I'm like, when I'm doing it, though, I'm like, there is maybe a little bit of that, but I'm like, this is hard work.
Yeah.
It's hot. The sun's beating down on me. So there's mosquitoes if you go at the wrong time of day. Even if you go at the right time of day, there might be a couple mosquitoes.
No, you gotta let that hard work cleanse you.
I don't know. I think it just might not be for me. Or I don't know. I say that, but I'll probably try again this year.
Because it's nice to have flowers.
It's really nice to have flowers.
What do you think of, so we got a wood-burning stove a few weeks ago, and that's been being a major part of heating our house.
A major lifestyle change.
And we were talking to somebody else with it, and she said, I really like to participate in the heating of my house, you know, carrying the wood and putting in and everything like that. How's that experience been for you? Because it's hard work, you know.
Yeah, it's been... Parts of it have been really great. I love having the woods. I love the fire. I enjoy the maintaining. I enjoy, like, you know, the cycle of, like, you build the fire. It starts small. The stove heats up. The wood burns down. You have the coals, and then you put the things out. Like, I enjoy the process. Like, I feel like I get into a rhythm. The thing that I'm not so psyched about is the logistical thing of the wood.
Yeah.
Getting the wood from our driveway to our house. And then when we have to refill the wood by the stove area, we have to get it outside. I mean, that part's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like realizing...
The wood delivery is a bummer because we don't have a good way.
We don't have a proper driveway.
Yeah.
I mean, I am aware. I enjoy all of it. Like, just like I enjoyed during 2020 when I didn't have to work, that I enjoyed, like, making all of my, like, the beans from scratch and like cooking everything like homemade and like not eating out, I did enjoy that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm aware of how much time that it takes.
Yeah.
So like there is a little voice in the back of my mind that's like that's like, ugh, like, are you gonna do this all winter, every winter?
Yeah.
Like, it would be, I think it would be nice. I think it would be nice to, but like things with my work right now are in a more chill place, and I'm, you know, gunning where me and my business partner are trying to like build something that's stable and chill so that things can remain that way. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been through a lot of really hectic periods of life where I would probably not have time to maintain that fire all
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
or like bring in the wood. You
Yeah.
know, every 2 days bring in like
Every
some
2 days we bring it in twice a day.
from the outside.
Yeah.
You bring it in more than me.
Yeah.
See, that I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's amazing, and I'm also like,
Right.
I'm not sure if we'll be using it like burning a fire. Like we basically try to burn the fire all day.
All day. So like make
All
that the
day,
heat.
and even like we load it up before we go to bed.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's well, you're going away next week, and I think I'm gonna see how
it will be an interesting test.
to see how much I do it on my own.
Yeah.
Because I did that once. You went away for a few days right after we got it, and it was good for me because I was coming off of a sickness, and it was kind of my first little stint with sobriety, and I was like, all right, I'm sick. I literally can't drink. I can't smoke. It'll be bad for me. My wife is away. I'm like, I'm like really getting in the like a full blast of what a sober, moment feels like. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, having to go out, get the wood, bring it back in. And it was hard, but it also was like, okay, it's nice to just work. It's nice to like, the spiritual thing where they say chop wood, carry water.
Mm-hmm.
Just that mantra of just like, all right, just carry the wood to do the heat. Just, it's very simple. It's a very simple task. You use your body to do this and that instead of like all these other modern society things where it's just like, okay, I gotta send this email and word it correctly so that I can do this and find the right hashtag so that we can get more, subscribers and blah, blah, blah. There is something comforting about that simplicity of, okay, you know what? I just have to,
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep the house warm so that me and the cats can be comfortable. And what I got to do is I got to use my body a few times a day.
Yeah.
But that is, and I was like I was really enjoying that. But then like, it's been like, all right, now it's been like a little over a month or so of it. And I'm like, I'm kind of over it.
You're over it?
I'm not over it. I'm just really depressed right now. And so
Yeah.
like my brain is finding a reason to hate everything. But
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Um,
I mean, it's a lot of effort.
yeah,
It's a lot of effort.
I've also been making an effort to like get up much earlier in the morning. And that's hard on me because I'm not a morning person. So
Yeah.
just a lot of things are changing in my life, and it's a challenge. But I don't know. I'd be curious to see like who I am on the other side. How life has changed.
You're gonna walk through the fire and see what happens on the other side.
Exactly.
I cannot. We're at 46 minutes, so I shouldn't go on another long tangent, but
Well, we also recorded for like 2 or 3 minutes before we actually started.
That's
so
true.
Probably only at like 44.
that's true. I cannot stop thinking about this woman who I found. When you were talking about walking through the fire, I was just thinking about Game of Thrones and the dragons
Mm-hmm.
and how,
Oh.
how this like it was such a beautiful part of the story, right? Where like there's like this lore that this family, their lineage is like they're dragons.
Mhm.
They're like the people, I don't know, the guardians.
Targaryens.
The guardians of the dragons, or like I don't know if they're actually like part the dragon, like it's in their blood, but
yeah, something like that.
anyway, they're like they've
Dragon.
fallen from grace, but they have these she's like, when she gets married, she's gifted these dragon eggs, which are like, they just look like stone eggs, like rocks. And people don't even like believe that dragons were real. Really, they're like, we don't even know what this is. But it's like, that's old thing. It's a dragon egg. And then when, I'm gonna butcher the story because I really don't remember it very well. You probably know. You read the books, right? So
I'm still gonna let you
I hope
around.
I hope you think that my flapping is cute.
Very cute.
There's like a fire, right?
Right, and they try to burn her and with her eggs.
Oh, right. So they try to like burn her at the stake, basically, with her eggs.
Yeah.
And people are like devastated. They're like, oh my God, she was like the leader of like this group of people. It's supposed to be like a whole movement. And then when the fire like is gone, like she is alive still. And the eggs opened and there were babies inside. So they were born. Dragons. They were born from the fire.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. I sound like such a nerd right now. I'm not even that into Game of Thrones, but I do love that. It really stuck with me.
Yeah.
But I found this woman on Instagram. My favorite, like, apparently I'm spending a lot of time on there.
Yeah.
So this woman I found through this girl who I follow, who actually, she used to do work for me. And she actually like quit in like not a great way and was like, she kind of quit like in the middle of a project and didn't really give me any notice. But she was like, oh, like, I'm really sorry, but like, I think you're really cool. Like, I would love to be friends. And in the moment I was like, oh, Jesus,
fuck you.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, you just fucked me, man.
Yeah.
But like, she was cool. And like, I did like vibe with her. So anyway, like I feel like over a year later or something, we like got together for coffee and we did get along like very well. But we didn't really like, I don't know, we didn't really make the like that effort. Like you have to get over the hump to like try to really be someone's friend. Anyway. Yeah. We have stayed in touch. She did like a teeny bit more work for me later, and I follow her on Instagram, and she posted a thing that her sister was doing this workshop, this like woo-woo workshop with like tuning forks and like healing frequencies. And I haven't been like super into that, but for some reason I was like, this seems interesting. So I started following her sister, and her sister posts these crazy videos. I have never seen someone like talking in like light language, apparently.
Yeah, what is light language?
I guess we did see some of it in our dear friends documentary. Someone was doing that a little bit. But like I wasn't really like totally aware of what was happening in that. Anyway, she's talking about dragons and like coming from like a dragon lineage. And this is going to sound crazy, but when I watch what she's doing, and she's just like a normal person. She's just like you and me. Yeah. She has these videos. She's just sitting with like the tuning forks. She goes into the forest. She's doing that same thing. She's healing the forest. She's tapping into these frequencies. Just the way that you see her tapping in and the way she's speaking, like you can tell she goes to this place and she is channeling from somewhere else, and it is fucking crazy. Wow. So like I really am shocked by this. Yeah. And I'm really excited.
That's very cool.
Anyway,
it's got your vibrations on a higher level.
I'm excited. I believe in the dragons. I believe in walking through fire and coming out the other side. I feel very optimistic about this batch of sobriety and your seasonal affective disorder. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like good things are coming.
I hope you're right, babe. I hope you're right. I'm sure you are. I mean, good things. If you're an optimist, you can always find the good in things. So there will definitely be good things to find.
Yeah. Just gotta follow the light.
Just gotta follow the light. Well, I think it's probably about time to wrap it up here. So
yeah.
Shall we?
Miss Angel.
We're gonna have to invite you to come up to the camera also, and let's see if we can frame it properly this time.
Get your whole face in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lamb Chop says hello.
Lamb Chop had something to say. Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Just wanted to let you know you're doing a good job.
You're doing such a good job.
Yeah, we're proud of you. Thanks for tuning in.
We're proud of you for watching this
We're proud of
video.
you for getting all the way through this. Talk about politics and depression and Instagram.
It started out tough.
This is a wild one.
But I think we ended on a really nice, optimistic note.
I think so. The dragons are real.
That's what we want to put out there.
Yeah.
The dragons are real.
And these kittens' purrs will heal the world.
Yeah.
Bubs and Coyote for president.
All right. We love you guys.
Well, you got to give us our outro.
Okay, the outro is... Swish your tails. Are you going to swish your tail? Swish your tails. And squeak your noses. And get some good rest.
That's right. Oh, sorry, our cat just almost ruined our lighting setup. Swish your tails. Squeak your noses. Wait, I screwed it up. You heard it first. Swish your nose. Swish your tails. Squeak your noses. And get some good rest. We'll see you next time on Chester and Phoebe's Too Much Intimacy. Bye.